Philippine Congress enacted Republic Act number 10175 or Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012. The punishable acts and penalties in the Philippines. Law enforcement agencies assigned to organize and exclusively handle cases involving violation of the act. For local news, police arrest online sex trafficker and rescue two minor in Caloocan. Cyber sex operation busted in Valenzuela City and Batangas province. For international news, Russian self-proclaimed king of fraud sentenced to 10 years in prison for digital advertising fraud scheme. And for Balimbing news, here's your upper with no bias and exception, Nicole Mayrosco.
Good day, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. The most reliable, no bias and no exemption. You're watching Balimbing News. The Philippine Congress enacted Republic Act number 10175 or Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012, which addresses crimes committed against and through the computer systems on the 12th of September 2012. Hannah Ironpakot has the news.
The Republic Act number 10175 or Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012 is an act defining cybercrime, providing for the prevention, investigation, suppression, and the imposition of penalties therefor, and for other purposes, to combat and prevent cybercrime. The government of the Philippines introduced the Republic Act number 10175 or Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012. This act was signed by the President of the Philippines, Mr. Benigno Aquino, on September 12, 2012. The original goal of this act was to penalize acts like cyber sex, child pornography, identity theft, and etc. News with honesty and no bias. Hannah Ironpakot reporting for Balimbing News.
The punishable acts and penalties in the Philippines imposed to secure that every user on internet has a place with peace and at ease while using it. It says that anyone who committed the cybercrime should be punishable by law. Rex Nocos has the news.
Thank you for that. The punishable act and penalties in the Philippines become the basis on how Filipino people shall properly use those features online. Misuse of device, the use of production, sale, procurement, importation, distribution, or otherwise making available of software without rights should not be tolerated. Instead, he or she need to face the consequences using this act. Those cybercrime including child pornography, cybersex, identity theft, online fraud, and many more. Anyone who committed those offenses will be punished or fined or penalties. News with no bias and no exemption. Rich J reporting.
However, the law of enforcement agencies assigned to organize and exclusively handle cases involving violations of the Act. Daryl Mercado has the news.
The National Bureau of Investigation or NBI and the Philippine National Police or PNP are being responsible for the efficient and effective law enforcement of the provision of the Act. The NBI and the PNP organize a cybercrime unit or centerman by special investigation to exclusively handle cases involving violation of the Act. The law enforcement authorities ensure that the technical nature of cybercrime and its prevention is given focus and considering the procedures involved for international cooperation. Law enforcement authorities, specifically the computer or technology crime divisions or units responsible for the investigation of cybercrimes, are required to submit timely and regular reports, including pre-operation, post-operation, and investigation results, and such other documents as may be required to the Department of Justice or DOJ for review and monitoring. The news with no bias and exception. Daryl Mercado reporting.
For local news, police arrested online sex trafficker during an entrapment operation against online sexual exploitation of children in Caloocan City.
National Police Women and Children Protection Center or PNP-WCPC said in a press statement on October 30 that police rescued a 16-year-old and an 8-year-old from their guardian, a 39-year-old female who is also their cousin and aunt respectively. The operation was conducted on Friday afternoon, and the two children have been turned over to a designated shelter after undergoing necessary trauma-informed care. The suspect allegedly violated the Cybercrime Protection Act of 2012, Anti-Trafficking in Persons Act of 2003 as amended by the expanded Anti-Trafficking in Persons Act of 2012, Anti-Child Abuse as amended by Special Protection of Children Against Abuse, Exploitation and Discrimination Act, and Anti-Child Pornography Act of 2009.
Cybersex operations busted in Valenzuela City and Batangas province. Simultaneous operations were also conducted in a similar establishment in Lipa and a residential area in Santo Tomas, both in Batangas.
A total of 41 individuals engaged in cybersex operation were arrested in simultaneous anti-cybercrime operations in 3 different locations in Valenzuela City and Batangas Province. The operations teamed the information received from a concerned citizen via the PNP's Enhanced Anti-Cybercrime Campaign, Education, Safety and Security e-Access platform regarding suspicious call center activities in these areas. The arrested suspects are now under the custody of the Valenzuela City Police, Lipa City Police, and Santo Tomas City Police and will be facing charges under Section 4, 1, Cybersex of Republic Act 10175 or the Cybercrime Prevention 2012.
For international news, Russian self-proclaimed king of fraud sentenced 10 years in prison for digital advertising fraud scam. Amor Mayas has the news.
Alexander Zhukov was sentenced by United States District Judge Eric R. Committee to 10 years imprisonment for perpetrating a digital advertising fraud scheme through which the defendant and his co-conspirators stole more than $7 million from U.S. advertisers, publishers, platforms, and others in the U.S. digital advertising industry. The court also ordered Zhukov to pay $3,827,493 in forfeiture. Zhukov, a Russian national who was arrested in Bulgaria in 2018, was extradited to the United States in 2019 and was convicted following a jury trial in May 2021 of wire fraud conspiracy, wire fraud, money laundering conspiracy, and money laundering. Zhukov recruited computer programmers and other employees to help him perpetrate the scheme and build the technical infrastructure required to create fraudulent ad traffic. He referred to these individuals as my developers and referred to himself as the king of fraud. The Justice Department's Office of International Affairs, the FBI's legal attaches abroad, and foreign authorities in multiple countries provide critical assistance in this case. News with no bias and no exception. Amor Mayas reporting.
Reliable news with no bias and no exemption. The icon of public service. Your voice towards truth and trust. This is Balimbing News.